Hello, my friends. Today's reading is regarding a picture that was released of David Beckham and Bill Gates standing next to each other with big shit-eating grins on their faces. And I would just like to know, what is the energy between these two men? What is the energy between them? What does David Beckham really think of Bill Gates? And what does Bill Gates really think of David Beckham? The date is Friday the 15th of December 2022. And I just want to get the reality behind this relationship. Is it a relationship? What was going on there? All right, I've already shuffled. So just going to give you a few more passes. We're going to do 3 cards for David Beckham and his opinion of Bill Gates, and Bill Gates, 3 cards for him. I'm going to start off pulling for David Beckham. So I'd like 3 cards for David Beckham, please. What does he really think of Bill Gates? All right, I've got a few that are flipped there. About it. First one flipped. Okay. Okay, we'll come back to those. And then I'm going to do the wrong way up there. Okay, so now we're going to do Bill Gates. Let's just have a few for Bill Gates. With David Beckham, we've got quite a few that were flipping up. I think that David Beckham's a little bit confused about his thinking with Gates. He has a lot of different thoughts about him. I think in his mind, he's a little bit confused about Bill Gates. Cards just felt very kind of jumpy around it. So let's just see what we get from Bill Gates, older man. I'm sure that he has very definite views about everything. So here we are. There's one. A couple more for Bill Gates' opinion of Beckham. We'll take that one. 3. Okay. All right, I'm going to start off with David Beckham. So his thoughts about Bill Gates. The first card that came out was a strength card. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Beckham would see Bill Gates as someone who is a very strong leader, rightly or wrongly, whether you love him or hate him. He is certainly a man of strong opinions, and he's not backwards in coming forwards in telling everybody what he thinks. He appears to do it with kindness and this kind of kindly, fatherly figure, which I think Beckham is a little bit drawn in by. He kind of sees him as a kinder, older, wiser man. So yes, I think that that is the way that he primarily sees him, this strong, wise man, probably intimidated to some degree by Gates's intelligence, let's just say by what Gates has achieved, by his multi-billionaire status and his achievements with Microsoft and all of those things. So I think Beckham kind of bows down to him in some kind of ways and sort of glorifies him. The next card that came out was the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is very slow moving energy, but very, very trustworthy and very, he will get the job done. This has come out in reverse. So I'm kind of getting the feeling with the next 2 cards that Beckham feels that Gates needs help. Gates needs sort of his energy will help Gates get his message across, because Gates has stalled. I think a lot of people are seeing through this man. They're seeing that he's not a doctor. He hasn't got our best interests at heart. He is he's in it all for the money, and this kindly strength is just all a facade, and a lot of his stuff is starting to fail now, and people are seeing through him. And I think David Beckham sees that things like the jab and various bits and pieces are starting to fail, and he is stepping in because he sees that Bill Gates, everything is slowing down now. People aren't taking up the jib jab, and people aren't buying into this food made from bugs and all this kind of thing. People are very unhappy about the farmland being bought up, and just the whole agenda. And I think that Beckham kind of sees it that this man is stalled and that he needs help revitalizing it with his energy will kind of save him from being on his head with this. And then we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is you can choose to be kind or you can choose to be vicious, and that's where I look at this card now when I have this particular deck. The Five of Swords in the Rider-Waite is very much they're fighting on a beach, you know, and two people have walked away, and it's a bit of a hollow victory. You've won something, but it doesn't do your soul any good. You've won it by slightly underhand tactics. You've bullied, that kind of energy. With this, yeah, I do see it as a bully card, but it's kind of, he's got this little creature in a jar, if you can see it. It looks like a little butterfly, and he's looking at it. He's got a bit of a smirk on his face. So I'm tending to think that he might actually choose to be cruel and do something with these pins. And the pins also remind me of a jib jab. So he's looking at that and thinking, you know, I could stab you with my pins and make a nice little display of you, or it could let you go. Up that way, I think it's taking the bad option with this. And I think David Beckham sort of sees that the jab needs to go out to more people. Like it or not, people need to take this jab because father figure over here says it's the best thing to do. And because father figure, who's strong and with kindness, this is how Beckham sees him, remember, is struggling a bit with all of this. Beckham's going to help get the message across, but this message isn't helping the general public, isn't helping the people at large. This is helping this man here. So this is choosing the option of stabbing and choosing the option of basically what I consider to be cruelness over just letting people be free. Let people be free, make the right decision, open up the jar, let people go off and be free in life. But no, Beckham sees it as his duty to enforce this policy whereby people aren't free, people get this jab. If you want to go to your football matches, if you want to go to your concerts, if you want to be safe and look after granny and goodness knows what, you need to have the jibber jab. Because this wise man over here, who's kind, very strong, wise man, who does everything with kindness and, you know, compassion, he's struggling a bit getting this message across. And I'm young and vibrant, and I'm going to help this older man get this message across. So that is the way I think that Beckham looks at his relationship with Gates. Okay, so on the other side, we have Gates. How does Gates look at Beckham? And the first thing that comes up is Empress. He probably sees Victoria and David Beckham as, you know, they've got this big family of boys. They're very idealistic in a way. You know, if you look at them, it all looks like perfection on the top. You've got this working mother who has it all. She has the business, she has the wealth, he has the looks, he has the wealth. They had the boys. You know, everything in the garden is rosy. Everything grows around them. People love them. And Gates wants a piece of this because he's an old fat man and he's separated. People are thinking he's a bit of a shit, basically. And so he needs some of this Empress energy to rub off on him. So this is where I basically think that he looks at not just David Beckham, but the whole Beckham clan as a whole. So we've got that. And then we have the Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is the work of the card of putting in the work and seeing what comes out. Was all that work worth the effort? Was the juice worth the squeeze, as they always say? But if you look at this figure here, she's been baking. She's got all these bits of buns and God knows what all to go in the oven, and she's just taken one out. It's probably taken her a long time to knead that dough, to get it all ready. She's taken a lot of effort into it. Prepare, sweat. God blimey, a lot of sweat going on into making all this bread. And now she's finally got one that's all cooked and fabulous. But God, did that take a long time. And I think that he probably looks at Beckham. This is in reverse. So I think, although Beckham worked very hard and Victoria worked very hard, I think that in a snidey kind of way, he sees them just as quite frothy celebs, you know. Bill Gates sees himself as the really intelligent man who worked really hard, pulled himself up from his boots, work, intelligence, very sort of narcissistic, psychopathic, that kind of energy, work and driven. And I think he probably looks at Victoria and David Beckham in particular as, oh, well, you just kicked a football, you know, you didn't really put in the hours of work to get to where you are, which isn't necessarily true, but that is the way that he sees the celebrity kind of culture. You know, you've got there and you've got all this publicity and everything, but you didn't put in the work that I put in. And then we've got the Two of Cups here. So this looks like a lover's card, but I don't really see it as that. I see that as Beckham and not Victoria. This isn't anything really to do with her energy. This is Beckham and Gates. Looking like lovers, of course they're not, but well, I don't think they are. And it's just basically we can work together because I can use your status. I can use the fact that you are the glamorous family who have it all, and you know you've got all these millions of followers and goodness knows what. Well, I'm tanking a bit, and if we work together, we can, you know, we can get this message of these jabs out. But I need you. And I think that Beckham feels that he wants to be part of this wise wise fatherly figures plans for the future. And I believe that Beckham does believe this, you know. So does Beckham like Bill Gates? Because now we said what they can do for each other. Does Beckham actually like him? He's coming across as though, you know, he'd do an awful lot for him. Does he like him? We've got two cards here. We've got the Death card, and we've got, what's that one? I haven't got my glasses on. Seven of Wands, the battling card. So Beckham, as for actually liking Bill Gates, he sees that it's a battle, really, because so many people don't like Bill Gates. So he's going to have to defend this way up. He's going to have to defend his allegiance with Gates. He's on the higher ground this way up. This way up, he's going to find it very hard because people are going to turn around to him and say, what the F are you doing? You know, aligning yourself with this man, and people have said, you know, you've sold your soul. This is that card. You're almost fighting a losing battle. You could have had the high ground by choosing better people to align yourself with, but you've chosen this man, and now you're going to be battling just to try and save face. And then we've got the Death card here, which could be a total change around on how people see him. And I think that he's become aware of this all of a sudden. You know, since this photograph came out, he's thought to himself, oh shit, you know, people don't feel the same way that I feel. This is going to change things very much for me, how people see me, who I've aligned myself with. I think now this has come out, he's regretting it. That's my opinion on it. That's what I'm seeing from the cards. And what about Bill Gates? What about Bill Gates's opinion of this photograph and the whole moving forward with David Beckham? What does he really think about? Does he really think good things about Beckham, or is it a using situation? That flipped over, so I am going to take that. we've got the Six of Swords, which is a moving on card. And I'm going to take the next one because that kind of flipped with it. Three of Pentacles. Yeah. The Six of Swords is like the moving on card. It could be a travel card, but no, I kind of see that as he's trying to attach his cause to anybody that will pull him along further, and he sees that Beckham could pull him along, and Beckham could actually, you know, get this out to the younger people. You need to have a jibber jab so that you can do this, that, and the other. And they'll listen to Beckham, and everyone will go, oh my God, he's so handsome. And, oh, you know, there's Victoria, and they've all got all that money, and they're saying that we need to have this and that they trust this. So, you know, we should do that. So I think that Gates has hooked his cart up to David Beckham, but equally he would have done that with anybody in high profile, just to get what his message is out there, just to get his cause out there. And there we have it, the Three of Pentacles. This is energies working together. So, you know, you could say that this is him. If you actually look at that, and I hadn't thought about that before, that's actually being pulled up. You've got three hands here, three energies. So you could say, you know, the Beckham's, Gates, and I'm sure there are other things, or you could say David, Victoria, Bill Gates. I'm sure that you could find three very strong energies in that combo. But what I'm actually seeing is being pulled skywards. He's holding on to the rope with the other two, and in some way he believes that he's going to get pulled up. Well, maybe some of his stardom will rub off on Gates to a tiny degree, but it certainly won't work the other way round. Maybe some people will believe this message, message that's coming from this wise man. Maybe they will believe that because of the way Beckham has started to say how wonderful Bill Gates is and kiss ass and God knows what. But I think that Beckham is going to suffer big time from this. Gates is going to get more out of this than Beckham. Beckham will tank with this. Gates will, he'll get a little bit of a lift from it. So that's my opinion of it. Just basically vile, using people, using each other. They both deserve each other. You know, there is no loyalty, there is no friendship in this. This is all just to get a message across, just to make money. Because let's face it, these poor men, they haven't got very much money, have they? And every little bit helps in the coffers. So that's my energy reading on that one. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.